Welcome to our first ever podcast. It's Natalie.
Hello, wonderful people. It is Sofie.
Hi, it's Mia.
Hey guys, it's David.
What's up, y'all? It's Vanessa. And today, on our first ever episode of the podcast, we will be discussing previous history and experiences and just a quick get to know us. And welcome to
Many minutes of madness.
Okay, no claps. That's
ironic
no claps.
because it is called
Guys,
Many
what's
Minutes of
ironic
Madness,
about that is that we are actually going through madness, and
and it is called
that
Many
is
Minutes
what
of
is.
Madness. So welcome to our first
Yeah.
podcast.
Hi.
Exciting.
Yeah, this is so exciting. This is like one of our so many episodes. So
Totally.
I love having friends.
So throughout this series, we are going to have so many guest stars and different topics.
Yes.
And today we are going to ask each other questions about, like our like past experiences and shows, and like our parts that we've loved to play, parts that we hated to play. So I guess let's just go around asking each other questions. So I will start, and I have a question for Vanessa.
Hi, Natalie. How are you?
Hi, Vanessa. So I was wondering what your favorite role was to play ever and why.
I don't really know. I've played a lot of roles before, but I think my favorite was Kim in Bye Bye Birdie, just because the show was really nice and put together. The set and costumes were great, and I had a bunch of friends in the show, and it was just a great experience. And even though we only did 2 shows, I thought it was great.
Where'd you do that show?
I did that at the Y.
Oh, okay.
The YJCC.
Vanessa, do you have a question that you want to ask anyone?
Sure. I'm going to ask little Misha a question.
Not my name.
Misha, what was a part that you think you were not really best fitted for?
Dorothy. Yeah, I was Dorothy in 4th grade.
I was
and
Dorothy too.
my range was not good. So when I was singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, I almost cracked. It was really interesting. I worked my butt off just to like even memorize the lines because I was like younger and it was just so much for me. So yeah.
Do you have any questions you want to ask anyone? Oh, I have another question later. I'm going to ask it.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Okay.
So, Mia, your turn.
David, how would
Go on.
you rate your glorious kiss with Sophia Benno?
I would like
Oh.
to hear this one.
I would too.
I want to say it was very interesting and unexpected.
Can you just tell the
Not
story?
expecting it.
Like
So I'll
Just
just
tell
I'll
the story, David.
I'll
Don't
just
pretend
tell
like
the
you didn't like it.
Tell us.
So it was like, well, it was during 13. It was like 30 seconds before we were supposed to go on stage for one of the scenes. And she comes up to me. She's like, I don't think that a fake kiss will look real enough. Like, do you mind if I kiss you? I'm like, I just freeze. I'm like, what? Jean tells us to go on stage.
Oh my god.
I'm still having a heart attack. What's going on?
And I was there to witness all of this.
And then it just happens. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
David, I'm telling you, you look like you saw a ghost. Like, you were just
I
like,
did.
you were like, am I about to have my first kiss, like, right here and now? Like, is that what's gonna happen right
It
now?
wasn't a first kiss, but still, it was weird.
Oops, sorry for assuming.
I was in
Weird.
the audience, so I didn't really know the backstory of this because I just thought it was part of the show. But like hearing
Sophia,
it,
Jean taught us how to fake kiss.
I've seen the
And
video
out of nowhere. No, this was out of left field. I'm like,
and
what?
you looked so shocked because she just pulled you off
She
the
pulled
floor
you.
and
She
walked
took
your
you off
face
the
to
floor
her.
and kissed you.
Oh my god. Okay, well, David, do you have a question for anybody?
Yes, I actually have a question for everybody. So, what do you think is well, I just told my story. So, what do you think is the most interesting story you've ever had, like on set for
Oh,
a
I
show.
got one.
Oh,
I
I,
go first.
I'm gonna go
What
first.
order?
let's
Do you
go
want to
in
go in the
order.
order of the letters that we have in our logo?
Yeah, let's go in our
Natalie
Okay.
Okay.
So the most interesting story that I have been at STS for 6 years, so this is hard. So when I was in Annie, I obviously had like I was in every single scene, and so I had so many quick changes. And there was one scene where I didn't fully get the costume on. So I was like, I had it on, but in the back there was like maybe 10 buttons. And I remember Carly Miller was actually there helping me, and she was trying to button it together. And like you could see my full back. So I went on stage and I remember my mic was falling out and I was like pushing it back up. And I remember when I was trying to push it back up, my tank top started falling down with the microphone. And everyone was looking at me like, what are you doing? Because the mic was having such an impact. Like it was going boom, boom, boom.
Who were
So
you?
it was like, what?
Who were you in Annie?
It was Annie. And everyone was looking at me like, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
And I remember coming off stage, and actually, when I was coming off stage, I took my pants down in front of the whole audience, and I thought I was off stage because I had a really big quick change. And Carly had to pull me to the backstage, pulled me backstage. I was like, Natalie, no, no. And she had to grab my pants, and she's like, the whole audience just saw that. Like, what? So I was like, oh my God. And I think I was 11 or 12 at the time. And I was so freaked out. I was like, did actually everyone just see me pull my pants down half naked? Because my whole back was just like out. So that was my most
What an interesting story.
It was interesting.
Wow.
It is now.
Okay, Sofie.
Okay. So I have two, but they're like both mixed together, still less than 9.
I have two also.
So the first one's gonna be short. So I've been at STS. This is gonna be my 8th year, which is pretty crazy. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is gonna be way shorter. It's when I was Captain Hook in Peter Pan, and that was like 3 or 4 years ago. Or like no, that was 5 years ago.
No, it was 5.
It was
right before
Yeah, so
13.
that was 5 years ago. So I was about like 9, and so I was Captain Hook in Peter Pan the musical, and at the end, Captain Hook's supposed to like say like, oh, I've got a bomb. If you all don't like come on my pirate ship, I'm gonna blow the whole thing up. And
I remember this.
so
I know where you're getting to.
Yeah.
After like fall, like or just like crawl down the rock and get eaten by the crocodile. So 2 things happen in the scene. First of all, when I'm saying, look at this bomb, I'm gonna blow up the ship, we did not have I was not given a prop as
The
a
bomb was there. The bomb was
So-
not there at the time.
The bomb was not there. So when I went out for my next show, my dad actually gave me a bomb. So I went, not a real one, but I used it next. But it was really funny.
like
And
wooden.
then after that, I'm supposed to like fall into the crocodile's mouth. We had a person being the crocodile, and there was a rock in front of it. And I actually was like on the rock, and I ended up falling off of the rock. And I actually fell directly into the crocodile's mouth. So it looked pretty cool. But the person who was playing Peter Pan, after seeing that, like paused for like a minute, and she's supposed to say her next line like go seize the ship or whatever, but she sat there looking at me, and then like after like a minute she was like seize the ship, like it was just like quiet, and it was really funny. But my second one's more interesting. So my second one is when it was in my first show ever. I was 6 years old, and I was in School the Musical. I was a bird girl, and during the song Sala Salou, it's Horton's solo, and everybody's supposed to be sitting on the stage. And I had 2 other bird girls who were already on the stage, and I didn't know intermission was finished because I went to the bathroom. I came back, nobody was there, didn't really suspect anything, and I was just putting on lipstick. Figure out when I get to the stage, everybody's already on there. So I ran on stage in front of Horton, in front of the entire audience, running in front of him, and sat back down next to my bird girls during his solo. So
Oh, that was Susical?
that was
Oh, God.
Musical. It
Oh
was
my God,
fantastic.
Susical.
I actually have
Everyone
one.
from Susical left,
Except
right?
me!
Like
Yeah.
except
And me.
you.
And
Oh,
me.
and Lizzie.
Yeah.
And
Oh
Lizzie.
my God, David was also there. Me and
Yeah.
David are like the longest people for a while.
I started in 13.
Yeah, me too.
Wait,
I
you
have a story.
were there before me, David?
Yeah,
Yes.
me and David.
Oh
are
wow.
OGs.
So you guys were there.
I
a year
actually started
before me.
acting when I was 2.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Stage Scream was like my first theater.
I came after
Stage
Susical
Scream
because I
is
saw
my
you guys in
second.
it, and I was like, I want to act So.
No, you really.
I actually got a trophy for my first one because
Okay,
I was doing
let's not
literally
backtrack.
everything.
I
But I
saw
have a
some that we
story.
don't speak of.
I have
And
a-
Wait,
clean
wait,
up,
Mia,
so.
and then you, David.
Yes,
Okay,
come
okay.
on. Thank you. So I've been at Citrus Green for 3 years. I know, I'm like so new. One of my crazy, I have like 3. They're short though. One is when I was running, I think it was Alexandra. She just finished singing Marty song.
Alexander Hamilton.
Freddie My Love. Thank you. Freddie My Love. And I was running backstage to like quick change, and I trip over Hunter's ankle and I fall, and I
remember that.
I was like wearing
I
like
remember
mascara
that.
I remember this.
I
the
didn't-
whole
Oh my
big
God.
biz. So
Oh, wait, before
my
Mia
ankle
finishes,
was
I
so
want to
sore
say
after
some
that.
references to people that have been mentioned, by the way. Jean, who was mentioned by David, is our director. And and then Carly Miller is another past student. She's still there.
She shared Annie with me, and she was just helping me change
helps a lot of
everything.
people.
And
And then
Hunter is a
Hunter
teen.
Hunter is
another
a
student.
teen.
I have one more. I'm not gonna name any names.
You want to use a
I'm so
different?
sorry, I haven't been here for a day. My dog broke my
basically,
computer. So
I was dating, let's say, name a random guy's name, Andrew. That's my
No,
name.
why don't
I know this one.
Why don't we change?
I
it
was
to
actually part of
Frederick?
this one.
Frederick.
Yeah.
Frederick.
Frederick is
That's
fine.
good. Natalie.
Frederick's fine for right now.
wait,
was
before
dating
we
Frederick.
quick,
Let's go.
everyone, what
James
have I missed
Frederick.
while my dog broke my computer? What have I missed?
Not much.
Nothing.
God.
You missed not
We were
much.
just talking about experiences. We'll tell you when it's your turn.
We
Okay.
will.
Or,
Don't
Dating
you
this
worry.
guy in code words, Frederick. And so we were in the boys' dressing room. And
It wasn't. It was right in front of the boys' dressing room.
like, yes, shut up. And we hear the door open.
And I'm telling
Who's your
you, once Landon saw that, he comes running out. Looks like
Yeah.
he died
Thing
for
is,
a few minutes.
That
No, he looks like he died for a few minutes, comes out, and he goes, "You will not believe what I just saw." And I was like, what just happened?
I wasn't even here.
And
I think
But so basically, yeah, he came in. I was like, but the thing is, I was only wearing a tank top because my water bottle, I dropped it when I was on a quick change and it leaked all over my costume. So I was just wearing a tank top. When we were leaning in, the door opened. I'm like, oh my God. So Frederick comes out of like where we were standing, and Landon, he's like, oh, hey, Frederick. And then he was like, hi.
Nice
And
to see you.
I was like, and I was like, damn it. And he goes, like, what was that?
Doing?
And I'm like, oh God. And he like comes behind and he's like, Mia. I'm like, it's not Mia, it's a box. And I never been so embarrassed in my life. And we tried, and then after we tried to kiss backstage, but then people said that they saw a shadow. So then we moved.
well, me and Landon were actually helping you guys because Landon was so scared, and I was like, Landon, what's going on? And he had to like spit it out like piece by piece, and he was like Frederick and Mia, and I was like, I was like, oh my God, are they gonna like kiss? And then he's like, yes, and then first I was like, Mia is probably so embarrassing.
First, I had to make sure no one was in the boys' dressing room, and then
I had to make sure no one was backstage.
They were behind. They were behind like this giant bass drum, and I was standing in the hallway like a guard
That
or
was when
something.
it
I don't
finally
think I was here that day because I wasn't in that
Me
show.
and Landon were guarding the curtains.
Frederick
Yep.
and I are now broken
that
up.
day. I didn't play that
Okay,
day.
can we get off the story, please? Because it's
Yeah,
kind of
wait,
weird.
it's David's
I've
turn.
I have a story. So the story that I had was that it was Little Mermaid. I had no common sense at all. So this was the scene where I was, in the show I was Prince Eric and I was washed up on the rock, whatever it was. And
In that scene, it was so
and
cute.
no, and this was my friend's first year there,
I was
and he didn't know when to come on. So I was just sitting there like, come on. and I was just nodding over, trying to get him on. Well, the entire audience sees me doing that.
David.
You were supposed to be like lying on a rock unconscious, and you're going.
Okay.
I remember that because I was Sebastian, so that was the scene I'm supposed to go out, and like where you are.
I was supposed to sing, and then he wasn't coming on, and I was like,
I remember that so. Oh my god.
I don't.
Yeah.
There. Okay, Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Is it
Okay,
Vanessa's
I'm
turn?
gonna share my story now because I was not able to do that before.
You're not.
So
okay.
I have a lot of stories. It's not okay, but one of them is really quick. The other one's a little longer, so I'm just gonna share both. So the first one was during Bye Bye Birdie. So basically, I was off stage waiting with my friend because we had to go on for a scene, and basically I start smelling something. I'm like, what the heck is this? Turns out he had a really, 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 really bad BO.
I
And
thought you were gonna say something else.
Yeah,
Thank God that
same.
you didn't.
and
Thank God that you didn't.
and we had to dance with each other in the next number, and we had to like almost kiss in the show but didn't. And he like leans me back, and I'm just like, you smell, you smell, you smell. And the entire time I wanted to yell at him the entire time. Okay, so the second story is much more interessante. Okay, so this was Wizard of Oz. Keep in mind, I'm in 6th grade. This is my school show. Sofie quit. So
I was there.
I got Toto, and I was the dog.
Sophie, were you in it?
She quit. She got
Yeah, I was cast as again a lullaby league. So I was like,
No
Okay.
way. I was a lullaby league.
Shush, 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 shush. Quiet coyotes.
Well,
Quiet
and the
coyotes.
second time I did it.
Quiet
What a
coyotes.
league we had.
Natalie.
Really?
Quiet coyote.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's my
So basically, I was backstage. It was just Julie Levinson and I. She was Dorothy, and I was Toto. Basically, I
That's
ended
Julie
up
Levinson.
spraining
We
my
love
knee.
you.
Natalie, shut up. Because
Sorry.
basically, I was taller than her, and the dog can't be taller than Dorothy. So I had to squat so much and go on my knees so much, and I ended up like really hurting my knees. But whatever, that's not my time.
You didn't
Basically,
lay down?
Julie Levinson- Shush.
You were standing up? What?
I was squatting, but
Oh, okay.
Can we talk about your total outfit?
it was a kangaroo costume. It meant to be a dog.
Wait a minute. I have something.
Oh,
Make
shh.
fun of it.
Okay, while David gets what he's getting, I'm going to continue. So basically, we were backstage. It was just me and Julia. And then basically, this older boy, I think he was in 8th grade. And basically, Julia Levinson and I are back there doing a quick change. And then the dude, it says on the door, don't come in.
Scarecrow or Tin Man?
He opens the door and walks in. He goes smiling. He's like, oh, shoot. I didn't know this was the girls' locker room. And then leaves. Julie Levinson and I are literally there, not dressed. And I'm like, oh, my God. And then that guy got suspended. But basically, that's my story. Okay, I have a question for all of y'all.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Wait, who didn't ask a question yet? Like, who didn't?
Mia. Wait, did she
And I
ask
was
a question?
Mia asked.
Oh, she asked me a question.
Yes.
I didn't ask or was asked.
Oh, I
Sophie
have one
asked.
thing about the dog. So when I did my first show ever was Peter Pan, and I was like, this was like when I was like 4, and I was like the little, I forgot his name, the little kid.
Oh,
No.
Michael?
I think it's
The
Michael.
Lost Boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Michael.
I'm wrong.
no, it was one of the brothers.
It was
So it
Michael.
was-
Michael.
Michael.
Michael's the littlest.
Not one of the brothers. Not one of the brothers. In the
Lost Boys.
no, not one of the Lost Boys. What's her name?
I don't know them.
Wendy's brothers.
Yes.
Was it the
young,
dog?
no.
Yeah, that's Michael.
Okay, so the youngest of Wendy's brothers. I was 4, so I was that. And I didn't. There was no dog, and this was the dog from like 12 years ago. Not 12 years ago, like from 10 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years.
By the way,
ago.
David is showing a
years ago.
huge plush dog
You cannot
pillow
see
thingy
it.
right now.
That was like thrown up into my brother's room.
Closet. Okay.
Oh, was that supposed to be Nana?
What?
Yeah, that's Nana. That was Nana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have another question, and this question is actually for everyone. What was your worst audition experience and why? Okay, so my first one was for Grease. I wanted Sandy so bad, but I was scared to sing this song because I just practiced with my voice teacher and I cracked 1,000,000 times. So I walk into the audition room and Gene asked me what I'm singing. I go, Rizzo song. And then he's like, do you want Rizzo? And I'm like, well, not exactly. He's like, who do you want then? And I'm like, Sandy. He's like, then why aren't you singing Sandy's song? I'm like, and I literally said, because I'm afraid I'm going to crack. Yeah, so then I sang There Are Worse Things I Could Do and honestly sounded awful. But then in callbacks, he made me sing Hopelessly Devoted, and I didn't crack, and I was the happiest person ever, and then I got it. But that audition experience was stressful because I thought I was going to get ensemble. So,
And
yeah.
she ended up getting the lead.
Yep.
So good job, Vanessa.
Yep, great job. Could I say mine?
Wait, who's after Vanessa? David?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, David, then me. Oops.
Let's see. I don't really know. It might have been. I think it might have been for Little Mermaid. Yeah, because you know how you were afraid of cracking? Well, I actually did crack like 5 times. Because how many years ago was that?
I think that was like 4.
That was
Yeah, it
4
was
years
like
ago.
4 years
Or
ago.
4 or 5, 4 or 5.
And I could barely sing at that time. My voice was whack. And I just cracked like 6 times.
That's not good.
But you
Not 6 times, that's over exaggerated, maybe like 2. But I was still surprised that I got the part.
My worst audition experience was probably I had this super, super bad stutter, and I was stuck on the same word for like 15 seconds. And
What were you
yeah, it was
auditioning for?
pretty crappy. I think it was during the Rizzo audition. I was
Oh, really?
yeah. I was like, what, like that, constantly, and it was really embarrassing.
Oh.
I think that the worst audition, I can't really remember because I'm,
Why am I excited to hear this one?
but I do remember when I did, I think it was Wizard of Oz auditions, I think it was callbacks, and so I was in the back room and there was like a lot of people there and they'd call us one by one and we just read for a bunch of different characters. And I read for like the witch and I had to, it was the weirdest monologue ever. And it was
Who were you? Who'd you get?
me and Natalie and Vanessa, right? Vanessa?
No,
No,
my league.
Sophia. Me, Natalie, and Sophia were all ensemble. So we were like we were
birds. We were lullaby league.
the tornado.
Yeah.
And we had 30 costumes.
That was really stressful.
Oof, I can't even imagine.
So for the audition, it was like, I'll mix myself together some bugs in a con roll. It was like it wasn't even from Wizard of Oz, but it was this weird monologue. And I was like, what is this monologue? And I was just like, I skipped a whole entire sentence while reading it because I didn't see, like, it was the first time I was reading it. It was a cold read. And so yeah, that's it for me because I didn't really have that much bad experiences, I don't think. But that's what I remember.
That's good.
If I think of like a way worse than one, then I'll that I remember.
But like for my Legally Blonde, I was like, you got the best freaking. It was so flat.
So I originally sent in a video for callbacks, but he wanted me to go in person. So I went in person like maybe 2 or 3 days later, and I sang the first part really well, and then the last part I was flat and didn't even hold the note out long. Yeah, so I cracked. Like I didn't crack. Like I just like stopped singing the note, and he was like, "Oh, you still know my second love." So I was like, "I know this." Okay, second, I auditioned for Little Mermaid like 4 or 5 years ago, and I remember it was callbacks, and Jana was in the room. It was the first time I ever met her, and he obviously it was callback for Ariel.
Was there for my audition, and then she asked to meet with me like the next day.
So obviously it was callback for Ariel, and so I was singing the song, and I totally skipped a verse. Like it was Grease vibes, but I totally skipped a verse.
Oh my god!
And yeah, I skipped a verse, and Jean was like, "Do you want to do that again?" I was like, "Yes." Yeah. So then I did the Little Mermaid audition again because he asked me to, and yeah, that was it.
Oof.
Okay, I have a question.
It's out, guys. The cast list is out. The cast list just came out.
No, it's
You're
not.
It is?
kidding. Are you
Brooke just
kidding?
said it's out.
You're kidding.
Yeah, check the group chat. Brooke just said it's out. Go check
Are
your
you
phones.
kidding?
You're kidding. I'm checking right now. Quick pause.
So though, go check your phones. Go freak out. Go check.
You're kidding
Of
me.
course it comes
Came
out.
out right now.
Where the frick is it?
She's playing us.
She's not pranking. Only I do that.
My
Oh
heart
my
dropped.
gosh.
My heart.
Same. I don't have an email.
Why? It's you guys not like? Do you get emails from Sage Screen?
No, my mom.
Yes, I don't have an email.
What
No,
do you
unmute.
get?
Unmute. Tell us what we got. Tell us what we got. Me unmute.
I got Vivian.
What did I get?
You got Paulette, Sophie.
What Natalie get? Did Natalie get L?
I can't hear.
You guys. Who did
Mia,
David get?
send
Who
it
did
to
David
me.
get?
I can't hear.
Send it. Send it. Send it.
Oh no.
David. Got Warner.
Yes! I'll be right back.
Mia,
Frankie.
send it to me. I want to see.
Natalie.
I have to look for it now. Oh my god. I didn't actually get it.
I got Vivian.
I got L.
Oh my
What a
That's gonna
great
look so.
ending
Wait.
to our first episode.
Okay, guys, so this was a very interesting episode. It was not supposed to go this way, but it did.
god. Swear to
and
God,
we
this
all
was
are happy
not.
with
This
what we
was
got.
not.
This
fake.
is not
It came
planned.
out
This
is
while
not
we were
fake at all.
recording.
But yeah, so this is what happened, and I hope you enjoyed. And we will be back next week
Next
with
week.
a guest star, Jacob Muscolino. He is so funny. He is
Yes.
the comedian of the studio.
We love Jacob.
We love Jacob so much, and there will be so many more interesting and
Guest
well,
stars.
Jacob is interesting, but so many more people to come. So
Okay, bye guys.
Hi guys.
Bye.